Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, because you have reached Red Steele's Assault Copter Review. I'm your man, Red Steele, and today I have a very special review for you because it finally came in the mail, and that is from Hasbro's crowdfunded project, G.I. Joe Classified Series Assault Copter Dragonfly. G.I. Joe Classified Series Dragonfly. But before I get to the actual review, I just want to go over some of the spectacular details on this packaging. Up front here, this beautiful illustration of the Dragonfly. You have a couple more here, here, and here. And this illustration actually wraps all the way around the packaging. You have the Dragonfly up here, another one over here firing away. The back of the packaging here, you have a side profile of the Dragonfly, you have another one down here. Then on the other side of the packaging here, you have one firing away, and you have another one right here. Which leads us back to the front of the packaging here. In the corner you have the Hasbro emblem, and next to that you have 14 plus, which is the age requirement for this figure. And next to that it says it requires 3 AA batteries. In the center here you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series logo, and these stripes actually wrap all the way around the packaging here, where you see them on the bottom of the side right here, and right here. Then on the top of the packaging here, in the center, you have Dragonfly XH-1 logo. Over here the HasLab logo. Down here you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series logo. Over here you have the 6-inch scale logo. And next to that you have the Yeehaw Champion G.I. Joe. Then on the bottom of the packaging here, you have all of the figure's features. Starting with Dragonfly XH-1 logo. Over here it says G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH-1. Then over here the G.I. Joe Classified Series logo. And over here you have all of the helicopter specs, starting with stealth enhanced rotor blades. Over here, 317A high resolution radar, gunner door, pilot door, canopy, spotlights, ammunition bay access door, air intake, engine bay access door, twin turbo shaft engines, exhaust ports, rear horizontal stabilizers, counter rotation coaxial turbine with noter system. Over here you have an air data system sensor, articulated V-tail wing. Then over here another bunch of tech specs. Over here it says M34 grenade launcher, creeper missile, gesture missile, hoist with rescue hook, 2cm dragon breath rotor nose cannon, laser guided 16cm cannon pod, and up here it says 7cm unguided rocket launcher. Then over here a bunch of tech specs of the actual helicopter, starting with push button activates illuminated instrument control panels and exterior spotlights. Over here, ammunition bay access doors provide a step up to the canopy. Over here, separate canopy doors for both gunner and pilot lead to the command cockpit, which features articulated control stick, throttle controls, tactical flight displays, and 4-point harnesses. Then over here, functioning rotor blades with manual blade spinning action. Over here, removable hoist with retractable rescue hook for infiltration and extraction or rescue ops. Then over here it says detachable armaments to customize your assault copter loadout. Then down here it says articulated detail, adjustable V-tail wing, pivoting rear stabilizers, swiveling counter rotation coaxial turbine cover. Then over here you have the Dragonfly XH-1 logo. Next to that you have the Night Force logo. And over here you have Commandos Hero Codes. And below that you have the HasLab logo. Now I'll go ahead and unbox my Dragonfly. And I have to say that this box is really sturdy. It's not like the other HasLab projects where it kind of came with a thinner box. And the packing for this box was pretty intense because it came with 2 cardboard exterior boxes. And they had like a little plastic thing to kind of protect the corners here. So they took a lot of precaution in shipping this package. So very nicely done. But I'm going to go ahead and grab my trusty scissors and get that circular tape right here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my scissors and I'm going to poke that tape right here. pretty nicely packed. And I know a lot of people try to keep their collectibles in their packaging, but I mean, you're not paying a couple $100 for just a box. So I'm going to open this up, and it looks like there's a couple of tiers here. You gotta let me see if I can push it back a little. You got 3 tiers here. Looks like you have a thin one right here. I'll pull that out. It's kind of like a tray. And so you got like the G.I. Joe logo on the front here. Pretty cool. I'm gonna lay that right. It's pretty thin. Lay that right on top of the box here. Because I want to go and pull that middle tier right here. And they're like little drawers. And this one has a. Let me turn this around. It has like a Wild Bill logo on the front, and it says Yeehaw Champion. Pretty cool. I'll just lay that right on top too. I'll pull that bottom tier. And this one has the Dragonfly XH-1 logo on the front. Let me go ahead and pull this out and show you guys. I'm going to stack these up and move the exterior box off to the side. I'm going to open up each one of these boxes. I'm going to start off the unboxing by taking the one box with the Dragonfly XH-1 logo on it. And this is the one that was on the very bottom tier. And it's the larger of the 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt it back. Get this big flap on the top here. You got a hole right here. You want to go ahead and just pry it open. It looks like you have a tray right here. You have some accessories in this tray. The labels and stuff. I'm going to put this off to the side for now, because this unboxing is pretty large, like I mentioned, so I couldn't get all 3 tiers in one frame, so I'm going to do each box individually. And it looks like here you have the Dragonfly here, the actual helicopter, and it looks like the tail is like right on the bottom here. I'll put that off to the side. You got some accessories right here. I'm going to take this box and put this off to the side, because this thing's massive. You can't even imagine how big this thing is. I couldn't fit all the boxes in this table right here, so I have to do everything separately. So I'm going to put the Dragonfly, push that off to the back. You got the tail here, and you got some accessories right here. Now I'm going to bring that tray back in here. And it looks like, I'm going to try to tilt this so stuff doesn't fall out, but you got the sticker label and the instructions right here. Looks like you have some blast effects right there. You have, I believe these are the tail fins. Got the rotor blades right here. Got some missiles. Some large blast effects right here. Looks like this might be a rocket launcher. And this looks like a cannon of sorts. Pretty cool. A lot of accessories in this one. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up the second box. This is the box that was in the middle, and it's a box with the Yeehaw Champion G.I. Joe logo in the front with Wild Bill's picture in the middle right here. And again, you have another flap in the front here. I'm going to go ahead and tilt it back a little bit so you guys can see what's inside of this one. I'm guessing it's a lot of the accessories, because the bottom two have a lot of the helicopter pieces. It looks like this one has the display stand right here. There's a clear display stand right here. So you have a base right here. We have a few more helicopter parts. Looks like this is part of the blade right here. Looks like you have like a rocket launcher and a bunch of rockets right here. Looks like you have a couple more tail. It looks like wings right here. Maybe back into the helicopter. I'm not sure if there's anything else in this box. Nope, nothing else in this one. This project was shipped to backers November 2024. The Dragonfly is a collaboration between the G.I. Joe team and HasLab to create the very first 6-inch scale assault copter vehicle. The Dragonfly's accessories include G.I. Joe Classified Series William Wild Bill Hardy, 2 Creeper missiles, 2 70-centimeter unguided rocket launchers, 2 Jester missile racks that hold 8 Jester missiles, 2 laser-guided 160mm cannon pods with belt-fed ammo, functioning hoist, 6 blast effects, clear display stand, sticker sheet, and instructions. The Dragonfly stands over 11 inches tall and is meant for fans ages 14 and up. I'll go ahead and complete the final phase of this unboxing. And this is a smaller of the 3 boxes, and we know what's left. It's the actual figures. The front here you have the G.I. Joe emblem. I'm going to pull this flap open and carefully so none of the contents come flying out at me. I did that successfully. You have the sheet of paper that probably was placed to protect the front of the packaging here. pull this piece out right here. First of all, I'm going to bring out Crazy Legs, then Glenda, then Ripcord, and last but not least, Wild Bill. Go and put this box off to the side. But before I get to the actual review, I just want to go over some of the spectacular details on this packaging. Up front here, the display window is showing you both the figures and all their accessories inside. On the top here, you have G.I. Joe, and below that, you have all the respectable names, starting with William Wild Bill Hardy, Ripcord, Jane Glenda Mulligan, and Davy Crazy Legs Thomas. Down here, you have all the individual insignia, starting with Dragonfly XH-1, Night Force, and forgive me if I mispronounce this, Commandos, Hiriosos, and Night Force. Below that, you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series logo. In the corner here, you have the HasLab logo. In the other corner here, you have the Hasbro emblem. Then when you turn the figures off to the side, you have like a bookcase display. We'll put side by side, completes a fantastic illustration of the Dragonfly. And below that, you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series logo. And down here, you have all the respectable numbers in the G.I. Joe Classified Series. Then on the other side of the packaging here, on top of the packaging here, again, you have that number that represents the number in this series. Below that, you have all their individual logos for whatever special task force they're part of. Down here, you have all the profile shots. And on the very bottom here, you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series logo. Then on the back of the packaging here, you have a beautiful illustration of all the profile shots. And in the center here, you have G.I. Joe, and under that, you have all the respectable names. Of course, you have William Wild Bill Hardy, Ripcord, Jane Glenda Mulligan, and Davy Crazy Legs Thomas. In the other corner here, you have the Hasbro emblem. G.I. Joe Classified Series G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH-1. The Dragonfly was a crowdfunded project which ran from June 5th, 2023 until July 17th, 2023. To fund this project, it cost $274.99 and required a minimum of 10,000 backers. The Dragonfly was successfully funded with 24,764 backers, which also unlocked 3 bonus tiers. The first tier was unlocked at 13,000 backers. This tier included G.I. Joe Classified Series Wallace Ripcord Weems. The second tier was unlocked at 16,000 backers. This tier included G.I. Joe Classified Series Jane Glenda Mulligan. The third tier was unlocked at 19,000 backers. This tier included G.I. Joe Classified Series David Crazy Legs Thomas. In order to fully experience all the fantastic features in the Dragonfly, it requires 3 AA batteries, which I have right here. I have 3 Energon rechargeable batteries. In order to put the batteries into the Dragonfly, on the very bottom of the Dragonfly, you have this panel. On this panel, you have a screw right here. You want to go ahead and grab a Phillips screwdriver. Get a little Phillips screw right here. What you want to do is you want to take the screwdriver and turn the screw counterclockwise, which is to the left. And loosen up that screw so that panel pops right out. Pull this panel out now. And you'll see that you have a compartment. The 2 AA batteries go on the bottom and 1 goes on top. So I'll go ahead and put that first AA battery on the top here. Get that spring. You want to go and put it in just like that. Go and grab the other 2. We got 1 in the very back. We'll go ahead and just pop that right into place. Just like that. And we'll grab the other one and pop that one into place just like that. You got this little white piece, so if you want to change the battery, you just pull this little white tab here and it'll pull out the battery. Now we'll go ahead and replace that battery cover. You want to make sure that little tab goes underneath, just like this. You want to hold it into place. Now you want to go ahead and turn that screw clockwise. Now you have your batteries fully installed in your Dragonfly. Next, we'll go ahead and fully assemble the Dragonfly XH-1. In the first step of the assembly, you want to go and grab these 2 large wing pieces right here. I'm going to go ahead and put the left one on first. And that's the one with the red light on it. You get this little tab right there, and you got this huge piece right here. You get this little groove right here. You got a little tab right there, and you got a little porthole right there. You want to go and just pop this piece right in just like that. Go and turn the Dragonfly around. Take that other wing piece and pop it in just like that. And you go ahead and grab your rotor and both blades and assemble these. You grab the rotor right here. On the side of the rotor, you got a little porthole right there. Go and grab the blade right on the end here. You push it right into the rotor just like that, and it snaps right into place. Go do it to the other side. Grab that blade, slide it right in that rotor just like that, and now you have the copter blade fully assembled. Now you go and take that copter blade. At the top of the Dragonfly, you get this huge porthole right in the center right here. You want to grab that copter blade and pop it right in that porthole just like that. Go ahead and grab the Dragonfly tail piece, the tail fins, and the two wing pieces right here. What you want to do is take these tail fins now. You got a little porthole right there, you got a little tab right there. You want to plug that in. It should pop right into place, and it's rotating, so it doesn't have to be straight. Do that to the other side. Grab that yellow wing piece right here and tab it right into place just like that. And it kind of they both rotate in the same direction. I think I have them faced incorrectly, and it's supposed to look like that. But very, very cool. Kind of guides the helicopter's tailpiece when it's ascending. Next, you want to go in and grab these tail fins right here, the black ones. And you got a little tab right there, and it's specialized. And there's not an incorrect way to put it in because it won't go in otherwise. You just tab it right into place just like that. Do that to the other side. Grab this tail fin and plug it right into the tail just like that. Next, go and grab the front part of the Dragonfly. When you take the Dragonfly, you turn it around, you'll notice that there's this humongous porthole right here. You want to grab that tail piece you just assembled, and up here you got this tab right here. And you got a couple little tabs on the side here to kind of secure it in place. Well, I'm going to take this tail piece now. You want to go and put it right into the back just like that. You want to click it right into place. Step number 2. Step number 2 is more about arming your Dragonfly. The first accessory I'm going to bring in is the 7cm unguided rocket launcher. Top of this rocket launcher, you have this tab right here. You take the Dragonfly and you slightly tilt it over, you have this wing right here. You have this green piece right here. Above this green piece, you have this porthole. You want to take that rocket launcher with that tab and plug it right in that porthole to snap in place just like that. So next accessory I'm going to bring in is a laser guided 16cm cannon pod. Again, you have this tab right here. And if you take this Dragonfly, flip it over, in the middle of this wing, you have this porthole. But my advice is to grab this tray first with the ammunition in it. You have this tab right here. You have this porthole right underneath the wing. I say it's easier to put this tray in first because once you have the cannon mounted, it's hard to put this tray in. So I'm going to go and grab this laser guided 16cm cannon pod now with that tab. Middle of the wing, you have a porthole right there. You want to put that cannon in. At the same time, you want to put that weapon tray right into the side of the cannon so it looks like it's arming the cannon. Very, very cool accessory. The next accessory I'm going to bring in is this little guide right here. And this guide has 2 tabs on each side. You got a larger one and a smaller one. You also have a larger porthole on one side and a smaller one on one side. You want to take the larger side, you want to plug it into the wing right here. You get the large porthole right there, you get the small porthole. You want to grab the large peg, small peg. You want to line them all up. And you want to slide it right into place just like that. And that's it for this side, so I'm going to go and flip over the Dragonfly. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and grab that 7cm unguided rocket launcher again. And of course you want the missile to face forward. You want the tab right there, you just plug it right into the wing just like you did the other side. Let me see, I have to find the porthole. And snap it right in place just like that. This time, go over and grab the hoist with rescue hook. And you get this little piece right here, which is actually a knob that kind of lowers and raises the hook. Get that tab, and the same thing you do the laser guided cannon pod. I'll plug it right in the middle of the wing just like that. And you want to also go ahead and grab that guide again. Get it with the larger side. You have a large peg, small peg, large peg, small peg. You want to line everything up. You want to plug that right into place just like that. Step number 3. You want to go and grab your creeper missile here. You want to swing it around until you see this right here. You got a large porthole right here. You got a small one over here. You got a slot connecting the two. On the end of this guide right here, you have a large peg and a small peg with this little tab right here. You want to line everything up. You want to go and plug this missile right into that guide so it snaps into place just like that. So now you want to go and take the Dragonfly and swing it all the way around. So you want to go and do that to the other side. You got a couple cannons right here. You got the large one right here, you got the small one right here. Next you want to go and grab these smaller blast effects. Back to these blast effects, you have two little tabs right there. And these cannons right here have portholes in the end of the barrels. You want to plug these blast effects right in those barrels, just like that. And just like that. And now you have these blast effects shooting out of these cannons. Pretty cool. So next accessory I'm going to bring in is this rather large blast effect. You turn this blast effect around, you have this large groove here, where you have that very familiar tab and porthole right here. And you notice that you have the large one, the small one, and you have that little slot in the middle. Well, you have that right here. You have a large peg, small peg, and you have the little tab right there. You just want to line everything up and just plug it right into the wing just like that. So you want to go and grab the next creeper missile. But back of this creeper missile, you have a porthole right there. On the end of the blast effect, you have a tab right there. You want to go and just plug that creeper missile right into that blast effect. Now it appears as if the Dragonfly is firing away his creeper missile and blasting away at Cobra, the enemy. Now that Dragonfly on my display table, so we'll go over some of its play features and accessories. First by talking about David Crazy Leg Thompson. And this is one of the 4 figures that came with the Dragonfly, and he came with a bunch of accessories. And the first accessory I'm going to talk about are his sunglasses. And these sunglasses are molded out of rubbery plastic, and as you can see, the lenses are painted a green. Not too sure why. I'm going to go ahead and put these glasses on David because they are very nice and they do fit. You know, at first I thought they weren't going to be fit securely. They go on real nicely. They don't really conform to the face as nicely as I like them to, but it's still a nice accessory. So the next accessory I'm going to bring in is this baseball cap. It's kind of got that Back to the Future 2 flair to it, with that red and black. And that just slides right on top of his head, just like that. Pretty cool accessory. And I'm sure this is his casual garb, because he does come with a helmet, which I'm going to put on right now. Put these off to the side. Actually, I'm going to put them off to the side over here. Get this helmet right here. And I'm guessing this is his piloting helmet. And it's molded out of rubbery plastic, so it does conform to the head. And it's pretty small, so it's pretty snug. So it takes a little bit of effort to put on. Get this chin strap you put over the chin, and it conforms the head real nicely. Really nicely done. You also get another pair of goggles, and these goggles are a little bit larger than the other ones, as you can see. And these are meant for this helmet, and this will slide right over this helmet onto the eyes. And I know on the packaging art it shows Crazy Legs with the goggles kind of mounted on the top of his helmet, but I did find a way to kind of slip it on, which I'm going to do right now, over his eyes. So that full effect. And it looks kind of weird because, I mean, it's kind of molded to where it's pretty tight, but you can get it over the eyes and over the helmet just like that, as you can see. It does go all the way over. I mean, on the packaging art it shows it sitting up just like that, but it doesn't stay on too well, and it just, you know, on his packaging art he's kind of like just standing there with the goggles on top of his helmet. But I'm going to put that off to the side. Because the next accessory I'm going to bring in is his blade right here, his combat knife. This combat knife does fit right into his fist, just like that. But the cool thing is with a lot of these G.I. Joe Classified Series figures is you have the ability to store your weapons on sheaths and holsters, and I love that because you can slide this blade right into the sheath just like that, and now you have his combat knife stored onto himself. It's pretty cool. But the next accessory I'm going to bring in is his pistol. And this pistol is the same thing. You can arm it by sliding it right into his fist. And one thing I like about the way they mold the hands for the G.I. Joe Classified Series figures is they all have trigger fingers. So you can actually put the index finger into the trigger hole right there. Pretty cool. But you also have the option, much like the combat knife, to store this pistol on Crazy Legs. You do that with this little holster right here. You just slide that pistol right in that holster just like that. Because the next accessory I want to go ahead and bring in is his backpack. And this backpack doesn't necessarily have straps, but it has a little peg in the center of the backpack. Center of his back right here, you gotta kind of line him up. You got a porthole in this little piece right here in the center of his back. You want to line them up So that peg goes right into both portholes, and now you have him with his backpack. Pretty cool accessory. The final accessory I'm going to bring in, he's getting kind of top heavy, so I can kind of hunch him over a little bit so he's a little bit balanced. That backpack does kind of make him a little bit top heavy. You have this rifle right here, and this rifle's pretty cool because the stock right here, it's on a hinge joint, could go in and out. I'm not sure if that's for storage purposes, which I don't see any way to store this weapon on his backpack. But you can actually arm him with this weapon, which is really nice. You do that the same way you did the pistol. You just slide it right into his hand. You put the index finger right where the trigger should be. And now you have Crazy Legs fully armed with all of his accessories. He is a really cool accessory, but I'm going to put him off to the side. Next figure I'm going to talk about is Jane Glenda Mulligan. And this figure came with a lot of accessories, a lot of cool accessories. The first two accessories I'm going to talk about are her two alternate hair pieces. She has two of these, and the strange fact is these two hair pieces actually match each other. And this one here is different. And the default one has like a trendy hairstyle where the undercut shorter and the top kind of goes over it. Kind of very popular back in the 90s. A lot of females were sporting this hairstyle. Well, the two other alternate hair pieces are a little bit longer in the back, kind of like a female mullet. Let me show you. I'm going to pop this hair piece out. You got a couple grooves right here, and that's where the hair piece kind of slides in. You got this little porthole right there. We take the new hair piece now, and you slide it right over her head just like that. And like you see what I was talking about here, the hair piece here is a little bit longer in the back. I'm going to take this hair piece off and put the one on with the headset and show you that the hair pieces are actually the same, just that this one has the head piece on it. So you get that longer hair in the back. Pretty cool. You got the little mic right here. Pretty cool accessory. I'm really impressed. Very nicely detailed. A lot of great mold detail in this headpiece. I'm going to slide this headpiece off and put the default one back on. Maybe there's a story behind why this headpiece is different than the other two. Maybe she diverged from the continuity. Maybe it's a different comic book or anime. Because I'm not very familiar with Glenda. I'm not sure if she was in the anime series or in a comic book. But I noticed that her gear here is very similar to Scarlet's gear, just a different color scheme. Where she even has the throwing stars on her gloves right here, and she's got that pistol on the inside of her wrist. And that's what Scarlet also has. So I'm not sure if maybe this is a different unit of G.I. Joe that Scarlet may have led, but her uniform is based on Scarlet's uniform. The next accessory I'm going to bring in is this pistol. This pistol's pretty standard. And what I'd like to do is I like to kind of like open up the hands a little bit, because the hands do conform to the original shape over time. Slide the handle right into the hand and put the index finger right in the trigger slot right there. And now you have Glenda armed with their pistol. Pretty cool. And like I mentioned earlier on, all or most of the G.I. Joe Classified Series figures have holsters, and you can store the weapons on this holster, and this pistol does have this holster right here. Because the next accessory I'm going to bring in is this flight harness. And this flight harness is very tedious. It's got a lot of straps. And I noticed that Ripcord and Crazy Legs both have harnesses on, but they're molded on, or they look like they're maybe built on, as opposed to Glenda, where you could actually take it on and off with these straps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put this harness on Glenda, slide it through her legs, wrap the belt around her waist, get these underarm straps that are a little bit thinner that go right under her arms right here. This top part of this harness goes over her head. And what you want to do is you get this little strap right here in the center. You want to find the porthole that it goes in. You want to slide it into place just like that. And that's the first harness I usually strap in. Then I take the thinner ones that are under the arms and I strap those in next. Do that on this side, and also do it on this side. And you got another harness like right in the middle. It's like a belt strap. You want to go ahead and put that in next. A lot of straps. Very tedious. And I kind of wish they maybe would have shipped Glenda with this harness on to kind of avoid this. Now I'm going to go and tighten everything up. But nonetheless, she looks really cool in this harness. And just the back view is it's an eyesore. You got all these straps sticking out. But here she looks really, really cool. She looks like she belongs as in a cockpit with Wild Bill. Very, very cool. And I'm sure the reason why this hairpiece was sculpted the way it was is the next accessory. And that is this flight helmet, which is really nicely done. And you slide this right over her head. It's made out of like a rubbery plastic, so it goes right over her head. And it looks really cool. You got this little mouthpiece right here. You got that visor here. You got that detail on the helmet. Very nicely done. And it has like her unit name in the back, which I had a hard time pronouncing earlier on. Very nicely done. Now she's starting to look like a pilot. The next accessory I'm going to bring in is her exchangeable fist. She has 2 of them. It's pretty standard. You got that little peg in the back of the fist. You just pop the hand out, and the wrists have a little porthole. I'm going to go and put the default fist back in because, I'm going to go ahead and move on because I don't see any purpose of having a closed-handed fist with this figure because she comes with a lot of weapons and accessories. The next accessory I'm going to bring in is her backpack. And this backpack is pretty standard. It has a peg in the middle right here. If you look at this harness right here, there's a hole that kind of matches the hole in her back. You want to plug this backpack and make sure that both holes align so the backpack plugs right into her back just like that. Because on the top of this backpack, I'm not sure if I got it in. So on top of this backpack, you have this hose extension. And you want to go and grab her rifle now. On the top of her rifle right here, you have a little porthole right there. And at the end of this hose, you have a little peg and it's tapered. So you want to make sure you push this hose or this peg right into this porthole till it clicks. And you want to arm it the same way you arm the pistol. You want to go ahead and maybe open up the handle a little bit, slide the handle into the fist, and bring the index finger into the trigger slot just like that. And now you have Glenda fully armed with all of her accessories. And she looks really cool. Really cool figure. Really, really nice touch. I like the harness. I just don't like the straps in the back where they stick out. But it's very forgiving because it's a very cool figure. I'm going to put her off to the side and bring in my next figure. I'm going to go ahead and bring out Ripcord. Ripcord's a pretty cool figure and he also comes with a lot of accessories. The first accessory I'm going to bring out is his backpack. And this backpack is very unique because this backpack actually opens up. It opens up because there's a little tab on the bottom flap here. And a porthole right there and it actually opens up. And you actually could store some stuff in there. And right here you see a little bit of a stress mark, so I'm not going to really open and close this up too often. Probably most likely leave this closed because I'm going to go and just use it for display purposes. And this backpack is very unique because usually backpacks are just backpacks, little pegs that just port into the back of the figure. Where here this actually has some straps. And these straps are pretty stiff and they're pretty small, so they do conform to the body very closely, and it takes a lot of managing to get this figure into this backpack. So you just take the arms and you bring it right into over the straps just like that. Bring the straps in. You have this middle strap right here, you have a porthole right there, you have a peg right there. So you want to go ahead and take that belt right now and buckle it in right into place, and you got to kind of pull it in. This is a pretty tight fit, which is pretty cool because it does conform to Ripcord very nicely. And he's a very bulky figure, he's got a lot of straps. I mean, he's got that flight harness that's already on, much like Crazy Legs. And I don't know why they went the option with Glenda to have that flight harness get strapped in. Which kind of makes sense because maybe she's not a figure that co-pilots the Dragonfly too often. But the nice thing about Ripcord's color scheme, and I'm not sure if this color scheme is more to match the Night Force color scheme, but it matches the Dragonfly color scheme where it's green and black. I kind of like that, where he does match the helicopter. Very cool. But he does become a little bit top heavy, so you got to counterbalance his backpack with his frame now because he is now top heavy. The next accessory I'm going to bring in are his goggles. And these goggles, I don't know if they're really playing any effect when he's piloting because, they're more meant for this head sculpt right here without the helmet. But you just pull these goggles right over his head just like that. And now you have Ripcord with his goggles on. Pretty cool accessory. I'm not sure how much it's needed. I know Crazy Legs also came with a pair of goggles, so I'm not sure if that's something that they did in the animated series or in the comic book where they wore when they were not wearing a helmet, they were wearing their goggles. I don't know if it was one or the other. But the next accessory I'm going to bring in is his pistol. This pistol's a little different than Crazy Legs and Glenda's pistol. It's a little bit bulkier in the front here, but you arm it the same way. And like what I like to do with a lot of these G.I. Joe Classified series, I like to pry the fingers open because it's hard to arm with these weapons sometimes because these hands are very stylized. And what I do is I just go ahead and I put the handle into the fist before it conforms to its original shape, which it eventually does, and I put the index finger in the trigger slot just like that. So now you have Ripcord armed with this pistol. Really nice. And like I mentioned earlier on, I love these G.I. Joe Classified series figures because they have holsters that can hold some of their weapons. And this pistol does have a holster, so I'm going to slide this pistol right in this holster on his hip, just like that. Pretty cool figure so far. Let me go into these goggles, put them off to the side, and I gotta forgot that I had to counterbalance that backpack too. But the next accessory I'm going to bring in is this flight helmet. And this flight helmet is very nicely detailed, much like Len does. You get this visor that goes up and down. And you slide this helmet right over his head, because it's kind of molded out of a softer rubbery plastic where it does conform and fold around the head. And now you have this visor that can go up and down. Really cool. I just love this modern technology where back in the day, you know, the 3 3/4 figures, they did not have that. They either had the visor molded on the face down or they had it molded up. You never had the option to do some of the visors. And they did try with some of the figures. Like I remember Steele had some visor that went up and down on his helmet. But you didn't get that too often with G.I. Joe series, G.I. Joe 3 3/4 figures. Next accessory I want to bring in is this air mask, and that clips around the bottom of the helmet. And you got a couple portholes, you got a couple pegs. You want to kind of peg it right around that, just like that. And now you have his hose attached to his helmet. Pretty cool. And I'm not very familiar with Ripcord for some reason. Maybe he wasn't featured so much in the anime series. Maybe he was featured more in the comic book. And I was more of a cartoon guy, so I do familiarize myself with a lot of the G.I. Joe characters from the cartoon series. And Ripcord was not really featured too often. I do remember the name, and I do remember the figure being released. I'm not sure what the color scheme was for Ripcord, but I'm sure with Night Force, this is a different green and black, and I'm sure, like I said, it was to match the Dragonfly. The next accessories I'm going to bring in are his 2 rifles. And the rifle right here, this looks like more of a sniper rifle. And with the stock right here, it kind of makes it hard for me to arm Ripcord with this rifle. I'm going to slide the handle right into his fist, and index finger into the slot hole, but the stock kind of gets in the way. And that happens with a lot of the G.I. Joe Classified Series figures where the stock's kind of getting in the way, and you got to figure out maybe a way of arming this where the stock goes on the inside of the arm. But it makes it very difficult to arm these long rifles with these G.I. Joe Classified Series figures. But I'm glad it comes with a shorter rifle. And you do the same thing, you slide it right into his fist, and you put the index finger right in that trigger slot, just like that. And now you have Ripcord armed with his rifle. It's a pretty cool figure. And I'm sure he's the desired co-pilot for Wild Bill. And I don't really recall what vehicle he came with, or if he came with a vehicle, or if he was packaged individually in the original line. But he's a cool figure nonetheless, cool bonus. I'm going to put him off to the side because I'm going to bring in good old Wild Bill. Wild Bill has a very, very special place in my heart because I did own an original Dragonfly as a kid, and he is the pilot that came with the Dragonfly. And had it been not for the other backers, other tiers that were unlocked with the Dragonfly, he would have been the only pilot that came with the Dragonfly. Because if you watch the anime series, Wild Bill was always the preferred pilot for the Dragonfly, and whatever character was featured in that episode would be the co-pilot. Wild Bill came with a bunch of accessories, which is really, really nice. The first accessory I'm going to bring in is his hat. He also came with another hairpiece. And I believe this was done because this hairpiece, the default one, this hat, is in one piece. The hairpiece and the hat. And I'm not sure why they decided to mold a separate hairpiece and hat. And it's maybe because, some people want to display the Wild Bill without the hat on. And Wild Bill seldomly appeared in either series, the comic book or the anime series, without his trademark hat on. And if you wanted to have the option of putting this separate hat on, you could do that also. So it kind of defeats the purpose of having this head sculpt. And I don't know if it was done because you all have this next accessory, the sunglasses. And the original figure did have sunglasses molded onto his face, from what I can recall. So I'm not sure if the sunglasses will stay on top of the hairpiece. We got Wild Bill with his sunglasses on. The next accessory I'm going to bring in are his 2 6-shooters. These 6-shooters are really, really nicely done. You got nice detail. You got the handle detail painted out of white paint detail. You got the gold star on it too. Very nicely done. In order to arm Wild Bill with the 6-shooter, you got to kind of pry open the hands. His hands are a little stiff. You want to go and slide the handle of that 6-shooter into his hand and make sure the index finger goes right in that trigger slot, just like that. And now you have Wild Bill armed with the 6-shooter. You can also take the 6-shooter too, and you got 2 holsters on both sides. You slide the 6-shooter right in his holster, and you can store his weapon onto his holster. I'm going to do that to the other side. You take this 6-shooter and slide it right into the holster, just like that. This Wild Bill is fantastically done. He's got a lot of great paint and mold detail. You have this little belt that goes around with the the two holsters right here, and you got that like leathery look, and you got that paint detail right here that kind of matches the glove detail right here too. You got this vest right here, you got this strap right here, it's a little pocket right here, and that's probably meant for his little combat knife. And a lot of G.I. Joe figures come with these combat knives, and a lot of great detail in these combat knives. He's got this metallic silver paint for the blade. And they've really gotten away with doing that whole chroming. Chroming does wear off and does chip. Here you get that metallic silver paint where it kind of probably has a longer shelf life than the chroming would. In order to put this knife in Wild Bill's hand, you just slide it right to the top of his hand, just like that. And now you have his combat knife. Or if you want to go ahead and store it, I'm sure you can store it from the top. Just put it right in just like that. And now you have Wild Bill fully armed with all of his accessories. And that's really cool. And I'm really happy with Wild Bill. And like I said, he has a special place in my heart because I did own one as a kid. Kind of wish the sunglasses stayed on a little bit better. Like there's a way that it went underneath the hairpiece and kind of was held more securely, because that is a trademark of Wild Bill, was his with these sunglasses. And I don't know if there's a way I could figure out how to get these sunglasses on. I'm going to put the default hat back on, because maybe that could secure the sunglasses much better than this the separate pieces. And it doesn't look like it does. But still is a cool accessory, and I wouldn't really risk putting Wild Bill into the Dragonfly with the sunglasses on, because you could lose the sunglasses. I want to go ahead and start showing some of the play features on the actual Dragonfly. Now you're going to go ahead and take this canopy. You want to go ahead and open it up just like that. You have this belt right here. You want to go ahead and unbuckle it. You want to bring this top strap up and kind of hold it in place just like that. Next you want to go and grab Wild Bill and make sure he's in a seated position. You want to make sure all his kibbles kind of out of the way a little bit, because it's kind of hard to get him into the seat with all of his accessories. You want to make sure the feet kind of slide in the front just like that. And you want to bring this piece all the way over the head just like that. And now you'll notice I have little scuff marks on the belt buckle, which I'm not very happy with, but I'll live with it. You want to go ahead and tab that buckle right in that porthole just like that. And now you have Wild Bill secure in his pilot seat. Really nicely done. I'm going to close this up right now. The Dragonfly XH-1 has a lot of load-up options. First load-up option is you want to go and unplug this blast effect from this wing harness right here. You want to go and unplug this blast effect from the back of the Creeper missile. You want to go and grab this medium-sized blast effect, and in this blast effect you have a little peg right there. Back of the Creeper missile on this exhaust port you have a little porthole right there. You want to plug that blast effect right into that porthole just like that. And now you have this Creeper missile as if it's flying through the air. You also have the option to reload this Creeper missile as if it's just about to launch, which is really cool. But I'm going to unplug that blast effect, put it off to the side. Because you have the 7cm unguided rocket launcher right here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and unarm this rocket launcher, pull it down just like that. Then I'm going to bring this rack with the gesture missiles, and you get 4 of them. And they all got unpegged and unmounted just like that. And they mount back in the same way. You have a large peg right there, you have a small peg, you have a slot right there. You just match up the peg and the slot right there, and you slide it right in, and it'll peg right into place just like that. You arm this the same way you armed the rocket launcher. Go ahead and find that little slot, push it right into place, and it clicks right into place just like that. Because on the other side of the Dragonfly, I don't know if you guys can see it right here, you have this harness right here, this hook and harness right here, and that's for rescue missions. On the back of that harness, you have a knob right here. If you turn that knob clockwise, it lowers this hook. Which brings me to Glenda and why she included this harness. This harness here has a little clip right here. We'll take that hook, put it on that clip just like that. And now you want to go ahead and take the Dragonfly and take that knob and turn it counterclockwise. And that raises Glenda. And it's about to bring her back onto the out of the water or wherever they're rescuing her from. It's like rescue mission. And she's going to be hauled away. Pretty cool. I'm going to go take Glenda, unhook her, and put her off to the side. And now that harness kind of makes sense where it can come off. Because the other harnesses for the other characters had harnesses that were permanent. This one is one you probably put on any G.I. Joe figure for a rescue mission. Pretty cool. There's another play feature I want to go and talk about. is a light up feature, and that's why we had to install those 3 AA batteries earlier on. Because on the top right here, you have this button right here. And let me go ahead and kill the light so you guys can see the full effect of this play feature. And if you push this button, the first time you hit it, it lights up the control panels in the cockpit. I don't know if you guys can see that too well. It's pretty bright. I don't know if they're LED lights, but it's very nicely done. You hit it a second time, and you have these 2 headlights in the front right here that light up. Very, very cool. So you hit it a third time, it brings in a spotlight, and I'm sure that's for the rescue missions, for that grappling hook I just showed you. Get that spotlight right there. You hit it a fourth time, it shuts off the headlights but keeps the spotlight on and the instrument panel still on. Hit it the last time, turns everything off. Really, really cool. And this figure has a lot of play features. Let me go and turn the lights back on. Because there's some panels too that you can open up. And I'm not sure, let me go and pull these blast effects off to the side. If you open up this panel right here, and it shows you this. I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure if that's another weapon or utility. I think that's some ammunition right here. It's pretty cool. And you also have a hinge joint right there. You can open up this panel too. Very, very cool. And even on the other side, you have a hinge joint right there. You can open up this panel too. And I'm sure that's the proper way to open up the cockpit panels so the pilots can get inside. Just like that. You should also take the whole canopy and open it that way. And that's how the old school toy did it too. You didn't have these extra panels. But still a cool option. You got this panel down here, and I'm sure it's the same as the other side. You got a panel right here. I'm not sure how this opens up. Let me go ahead and pop it up. And it shows the turbine engine right here. Pretty cool. You have this fin right here, and it controls both sides. So whatever one side goes up, the other side moves also. Very cool. And you got this tail fin right here. Let me go ahead and turn this around so you guys see it. This goes up and down too. You get this little cap right here that comes off. I'm not sure what exposes. I think it exposes another turbine engine right there. Pretty cool. I'm going to put that back on again. The next accessory I'm going to bring in, let me go pull the Dragonfly, put it off to the side, is the display stand. And right here I'm going to start off with the base. In order to assemble this display stand, it takes 2 steps. The first step, we'll take the base right here, put it down. You want to go grab the stand. And the stand's molded out of a clear plastic. And you got 3 tabs on the bottom of the stand right here. On the base, you have 3 portholes right there, right there, and right there. You want to go and plug this stand right into the base just like that. This is step number 2. At the top of the stand, you have 2 pegs right there and right there. You want to go and grab the Dragonfly. At the bottom of the Dragonfly, you have a porthole right there and right there. You want to go and peg this Dragonfly right into that stand. So pegs go right into those portholes just like that. And now you have the Dragonfly fully displayed. Let me go ahead and raise my camera up, because I want to go ahead and arm my Dragonfly the way I want it displayed. Because I want to go and grab this creeper missile, pull it off, and grab that blast effect once again. Plug that creeper missile in there. Get that porthole right here. You want to plug it right into that mount on the side here. Just like that. I'm going to turn the missile around. Then I got these blast effects I want to bring back. These little ones. Got these 2 right here. We'll put it right on this cannon right here. Put it right on this cannon right here. And now I have my Dragonfly fully displayed, ready for action. Beautiful, beautiful project. I am so glad I invested in this. And the Dragonfly has a very soft spot in my heart because it was one of the very few vehicles that I owned as a kid. I owned this and the tank. And Wild Bill to me was the coolest figure because I was the only kid on the block that had one. But if you guys found any of the information in this review valuable, please like and share this video. Also, if you really enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you guys for watching Rad Steele's Awesome Toy Collector Review, and have a happy Thanksgiving.